CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Brendan Purdy.
It's just scary because we never knew what happened until this afternoon, and we walked right by it.
Tonight on CTV News, a fire in northeast Edmonton claims the life of a child. Good evening and thank you for joining us. A memorial is growing at the site of an overnight fire in northeast Edmonton. Edmonton Fire Rescue says a child is dead and 2 others are in hospital, along with an adult. Fire crews arrived around 1:20 a.m. last night and got the flames under control quickly. 2 adults and 3 children were inside. The fire department says one of the children died on scene despite efforts by firefighters and paramedics. First responders used what they call advanced life support techniques while transporting the other 2 children to hospital. One is in critical condition, the other has serious injuries. A neighbor was surprised to learn that there was a fire overnight as he and his family weren't woken up.
You never know how fast it could have spread to the other units because of how many are connected in the area. Like, even if the fence caught fire, it could have traveled to the neighbor's fence as well. So it's just scary because we never knew what happened until this afternoon.
As for the firefighters and paramedics who responded, Fire Chief David Lazenby says this loss is an absolute tragedy for their family, for our community, and for everyone in our department who responded overnight. We're all deeply affected. Our hearts go out to the family. Both adults were also injured in the fire. One was treated for minor injuries on scene, the other taken to hospital in serious but not life-threatening condition. Fire investigators are now taking over, pledging a thorough investigation into how it started. Thousands of nursing care workers across the province have ratified a new collective agreement with Alberta Health Services. The Alberta Union of Provincial Employees says 63% of members working for AHS and the new pillars of healthcare voted in favor of the deal, which was reached last weekend. As part of the agreement, licensed practical nurses will see their wages increase by about 24%. Healthcare aides will get a wage hike of roughly 17%. The agreement is retroactive to April of 2024 and will expire in March of 2028. AUPE says it was a long, frustrating process, but it has raised the bar for collective agreement in Alberta. Members at the Lamont Healthcare Centre held a separate ratification vote. They didn't vote in favor and will return to the bargaining table. Finance Minister Nate Horner says he appreciates the effort it took to reach an agreement. The United Conservative Party's annual general meeting kicked off today at the Edmonton Expo Centre ahead of policy votes tomorrow. Premier Danielle Smith heard from the party faithful participating in a bear pit discussion with members of her caucus. Discussion points included support for alternative schooling options in Alberta, hiring of a potential provincial police force, and raising speed limits, as well as opposition to the UCP's Care First insurance policy. Earlier today, she took questions on a number of topics, including the ongoing UCP MLA recall campaigns.
Would love to get your feedback because we're talking about should we modify the rules a bit to tighten it up so that there's more parameters around it. Okay, that's one clap sort of feedback.
Smith spoke on a variety of party ideas, including the results from the summer's Alberta Next panels, saying the responses from some questions like the Alberta pension plan were very mixed, and the panel is struggling to decide how to advise the province to proceed. UCP members also spoke on the recently signed Memorandum of Understanding with Prime Minister Mark Carney to build a pipeline to the BC coast.
It's too far down the line. You know what I mean?
I honestly believe that the Premier is doing a wonderful job.
I support a strong and sovereign Alberta within a united Canada. I know we might have a bit of a difference of opinion on that, but I hope people today feel a lot more confident that Canada works than they did a couple of days ago.
That was earlier today when Smith responded to a question about policy recommendations from a separatist group. Tomorrow, members will vote on policy proposals, including the Alberta Pension Plan, Provincial Police Force, and new resolutions from UCP members, including the removal of fluoride from community water and ending the public funding for third trimester abortions. Alberta's Indigenous Affairs Minister says First Nations voices will be at the forefront of any future pipeline project. Rajan Sawhney says she's heard quiet support for a new pipeline in the conversations that she's had. She says First Nations will be consulted on the pipeline's route and see economic benefits. She points to the Alberta Indigenous Opportunities Corporation as an example of how our province is a leader when it comes to providing Indigenous communities equity stakes in projects.
We have demonstrated that this is a tool that works. Many nations that I spoke to in BC are quite sophisticated and know about the AIOC and have expressed interest. So I expect as this project moves forward, we will see Indigenous communities express an interest in having equity stakes in the proposed pipeline.
Sawhney also plans to engage with her counterpart in BC to get his ideas and let him know about the work that she'll be doing. Our first big snowfall of the year has arrived, bringing with it icy roads and with those collisions. As CTV's Merrick DeCash shows, the influx of snow also means that some winter activities are on the way.
Had they been plowed properly, it would have happened.
Matthew Van Heck is one of the 182 people who arrived here before 3 o'clock this afternoon to report damage to their vehicle.
Yeah, I was coming down the overpass on 28 going on to the Henday. I went around the half loop to merge onto Henday, and big piles of ice and everything was just piled up there, and my truck just lost control and it slammed into the wall under the overpass.
The roads began to turn ugly last night with 2 to 5 centimeters of snow blanketing the city by early this morning.
Whenever there's the first snowfall and there's going to be a lot of people lining up in the collision center.
I came around a corner. I had come from a stop sign, so I was going slow. And I saw her, and I stepped on the brake, and I just kept sliding. You know, they're bad in spots, but it's parking lots that are a problem. That's why I'm here.
Even the collision reporting center isn't spared. Its front sign was hit while we were inside. Over on a different kind of icy surface, City of Edmonton crews are preparing the ice for public skating at Laurier Park.
This is our favorite time of year when it comes to winter amenities, so we are actively doing all of our ice surfaces here at Laurier, in Rundle Park, and in Victoria Park.
City crews began working on the ice here at Laurier Park last Friday. As you can tell, it's still quite rocky. The city says they plan to have the rink open in about 2 weeks.
So what we do is we start flooding with our water trucks, dumping down as much water as we can as soon as the temperatures allow. As it freezes, it builds up and we're able to create really great ice.
The Victoria Park Oval will be Edmonton's first outdoor skating surface to open its doors sometime within the next week. Merrick DeCash, CTV News, Edmonton.
The City of Edmonton says it's never safe to go out on the North Saskatchewan River or stormwater ponds, even if they look frozen. Edmonton Fire and Rescue says in the winter, the majority of high-risk rescue calls come from people that head out onto icy surfaces or who try to get their pets who may have wandered off. It says so far this year, crews have responded to 124 water rescue calls on the river or on storm ponds. The city says its public spaces bylaw also prohibits skating on either surfaces. Fines for breaking that bylaw start at $500. Edmonton police hope surveillance video will help them find a driver who hit 2 men, one of them in a wheelchair. The video shows a red SUV stopped at the intersection of 127th Ave and 123rd Street. You can see 3 people, including 1 person on the ground, along with a wheelchair. Police say 2 men were crossing 123rd Street when a red SUV ran into them. 1 man was knocked out of the wheelchair. Police say he was seriously injured, but it wasn't life-threatening. Police say the driver stopped briefly to speak to the men before leaving the scene. EPS Major Collisions wants anyone with any information about the SUV to come forward. RCMP have recovered a stolen trailer that had some specialized wheelchairs inside. The trailer belongs to the Northern Lights Wheelchair Basketball Society. It was taken sometime last weekend from outside Memorial Composite High School in Stony Plain. It held 15 specialized wheelchairs. The society says students all over northern Alberta use them for basketball. The club's program manager says RCMP told him 7 of the wheelchairs are still inside.
Random thefts of property all the time. It's unfortunate that people need to do that to survive, I guess. So I just need to do a better job of beefing up the security, putting GPS trackers on these trailers so that I know exactly where they are.
Norton says the towing company told him that the trailer was found near the school. The Edmonton Convention Centre has launched a new initiative to help keep lanyards from winding up at the landfill. It's teamed up with a local business to create the Lanyard Library program, giving people hosting events the option of using lanyards made from upcycled textiles. CTV's Amanda Anderson explains.
Christina Hillier has turned her love of sewing into a business designed to reduce waste.
I realized that I wanted to make a bigger difference in just upcycling clothing. I wanted to create items that people could use to reduce more waste. So I started with reusable tote bags and produce bags.
She recently partnered with the Edmonton Convention Centre to make lanyards from upcycled textiles.
When someone books an event with the Convention Centre, they can then rent the library and use it at their event. And so instead of using promotional lanyards that are used once and thrown away, instead the promotion can go on the cards, like on the name tags, and then you can reuse the actual lanyard over and over again.
Instead of thousands of leftover lanyards from events, many unused, winding up in the landfill, they now go to Hillier. The hardware from them gets used on the new reusable versions. The rest of the old lanyards wind up in here.
We use the lanyards itself as stuffing in our own yoga prop line that we have. So we take all of our manufacturing scraps and those lanyards, we mix them together and it becomes a stuffing.
As part of the Lanyard Library program, after every use, Hillier will collect them to clean and sanitize them for their next use.
It's just been launched, so it's brand new. We're still waiting for next year's events to hear about it, and hopefully they'll start booking them next year.
She's hopeful the partnership will mean more waste reduction initiatives in the future.
As a small business, I can only make so big of a difference, but the minute I get to start collaborating and working with other companies and like bigger systems, that's where I see real change happening because it's becoming more mainstream.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
A longtime Jasper deli, destroyed by last year's catastrophic fire, has reopened right here in Edmonton. The owners of Patricia Street Deli have spent more than a year getting this space just north of McEwen's Allard Hall ready for their customers. They did have some setbacks and relied on fundraising to make their dream of reopening become a reality. Wendy and Glenn Leach opened the small deli in Jasper and ran it for over 20 years. Their new space is much larger, 2,800 square feet to be exact, and it's more modern, but brings back a few fan favorites. It has a wall for people to sign, a familiar menu, and the promise of warm hospitality.
What people will remember when you come into our shop is how we're treated.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, added to that a little bonus is you get to have a really good sandwich.
Yeah.
And visit people.
Yeah, the experience that one has is just so important.
Now, unlike the Jasper location, this new deli has evening hours and even serves alcohol. There's a soft launch that goes this weekend before the store's grand opening, which goes on Monday. The Edmonton streetcar is getting into the Christmas spirit. It's rolling out a car decked out for the holidays. CTV's Naramanisa goes along for the ride.
'Tis the season aboard the Edmonton streetcar. The streetcar is decked out in garland, tinsel, bows, and complete with a Christmas tree.
The demand was much more than we expected, so this year we've quadrupled the capacity.
This is the 4th year the Edmonton Streetcar has offered Christmas rides.
What's unique is we're operating in winter with the snow. That gives a whole different perspective on it. For the night and later in the afternoon rides, you get to see the city at night, which is a little bit unusual.
Special holiday rides are taking place over the next few weeks.
Each run is 45 minutes. So we go from here at the Strathcona station, we go through a tunnel where there's a few surprises in the tunnel for you. We go across the top of the high-level bridge, the highest operating streetcar crossing in the world, and then we go up to Government Plaza where you can look across at the legislature, and then we return.
Rides are limited as winter is tough on the 113-year-old car.
Sometimes it gets cranky, like some of us. It doesn't want to get up in the morning. It doesn't want to operate in the cold weather.
Passengers are enjoying an early start to the holidays.
They look really nice, and I love Christmas. It's very festive in here. I like the music as well. Great atmosphere. Christmas!
The Christmas streetcar runs until December 21st. Nair Manisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Just ahead, figuring out your dream. We catch up with a sensational young skater from right here in Alberta. Plus, wheeling and dealing, how Edmonton shoppers took advantage of Black Friday deals at West Edmonton Mall.
7 years in a row, we've done Black Friday shopping, and every year it gets a little bit calmer.
Good evening, folks. Another cool one today is -9 came in as the daytime high. It'll be even colder tomorrow. We'll probably stay stuck in double digits on the minus side tomorrow. Milder air early next week, though. We'll talk about all that in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. The 2025-26 Skate Canada Challenge is underway in Calgary. CTV's Glenn Campbell has the story of one Alberta skater with big goals.
It's not hard to spot Leah Cho when she's at the rink. The 13-year-old is soaring to new heights every time she hits the ice.
My favorite thing is like feeling the fresh air when I skate, and when I jump it like makes me feel like a bird.
Cho started figure skating when she was just 5 years old and has gotten better every year. She's the defending Canadian junior women's figure skating champ. Last year in Laval, Quebec, she won the title with a record-breaking score of 188.79 points.
I honestly think the reason why I'm good at skating is because when I skate, I always feel very happy about myself, and it just makes, when I skate, it just makes me happy seeing all my friends, coaches, and doing all my jumps and elements just makes me feel so happy when I skate.
This week, Cho was skating in Calgary at the Skate Canada Challenge, where she was once again the runaway winner. And that means she qualifies for the Nationals again. Cho skates out of the Glencoe Club, and her coach Scott Davis says she puts the work in.
Leah's very dedicated and works really hard. One of the hardest workers I've ever seen, and really diligent, and one of the most consistent skaters at such a young age, which is pretty impressive.
Cho's short-term goals are to compete internationally and skate in junior Grand Prix. Beyond that, she wants the Olympics.
Honestly, I think going to the Olympics will be a total big dream for me. I watched Yuna Kim compete at the 2014 Olympics, and I honestly really wanted to compete in the Olympics when I saw that, and I was like, that's my goal, just to compete for Canada at the Olympics.
Shoppers expecting customer chaos at Canada's largest mall were pleasantly surprised by how calm it actually was this morning. But as the day went on, the crowds continued to grow at West Edmonton Mall. Everyone hoping to secure a great deal for Black Friday. CTV's Matt Woodman has more.
This is the official start of the holiday shopping season.
When the doors opened at West Edmonton Mall on Black Friday, there were no door crashers.
It's good. It's not as busy as I thought. I thought it would be packed.
No long lines.
Even the parking lot didn't have a lot of cars yet. Mind you, we were here early.
And no real rush.
Oh yeah, this is the way to shop. Get your Starbucks and head out.
For some early birds, it really didn't feel like Black Friday at all.
We were here in February, but today, I don't know, it doesn't seem as busy as last time.
Shoppers could just take their time.
7 years in a row we've done Black Friday shopping, and every year it gets a little bit calmer.
We think because the sales aren't as good anymore as they used to be, but we still have fun.
Customers keep coming in, but I'm sure it's going to get busier after 12. We're having trouble keeping up.
As the clock hit noon, the pace and the people pick up.
It's definitely our busiest shopping day of the year when it comes to pre-Christmas shopping.
Everyone trying to find that certain something for a special someone.
My mom, my dad, girlfriend, a couple buddies.
What are we looking for on Black Friday today, ladies?
Oh boy. Everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Did you make a list and check it twice?
I got a long list.
Aritzia, Lulu, yeah, Lego.
Lego? I'm hearing Lego from a lot of people.
All ages love Lego, yeah.
Are you going to cross everything off your list?
That's the plan. I have a full spreadsheet. All the prices are on there.
My daughter's still into Harry Potter, so maybe we're looking at Lego and stuff.
Any tips for rookie shoppers on Black Friday?
Remain calm. We're hitting the busy spots first. So we've been to Sephora. We're heading to Victoria's Secret. We've been to Bath and Body Works.
And don't forget to treat yourself to a little something as well.
Oh, we've gotten a lot for ourselves. Don't tell our husband so.
Matt Woodman, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up, shining a light here in Edmonton. The annual Glow Festival returns to our city.
I think it just gets everybody in the holiday spirit.
Coming up Monday on Your Morning Edmonton, a new way to buy local and delicious this holiday season. Plus, we catch up with the local designer who is part of Project Runway Canada.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Welcome back. Minus 12 this morning and just 3 degrees of warming through the day. Minus 9 this afternoon, 6 degrees colder than average. We'll be in the minus 12 range for a daytime high tomorrow, and morning temperatures with a little bit of clearing coming through here overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning. Morning temperature is going to be around minus 17. Sunday morning looks even colder. There's some sunshine, though, for tomorrow afternoon, and light wind to go along with cold temperatures, so it shouldn't be all that bad. Sunshine, light wind. There's next low pressure system starting to build in from the west. So Sunday, we're back to mix of sun and cloud. You're going to see minus 6 in the forecast for a daytime high Sunday. That probably doesn't come in until Sunday evening, though. But there is some warmer air that will get shoved in out ahead of that low pressure system early next week. Minus 21, Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, minus 20, minus 21 range in the Peace Country. Red Deer around minus 20, minus 17 here in the city. Colder outside the city. Minus 11s, minus 12s in northeastern Alberta. About minus 13 in Grand Prairie. But look at Peace River and High Level. Minus 17 in High Level for the high tomorrow. Minus 13, minus 14 range from Red Deer off to the east. But a lot milder in Jasper at minus 4. Here in the city, minus 17 in the morning, some sunshine in the afternoon, minus 12, close to minus 20 Sunday morning, a high of minus 6. But again, this will come late in the day. Most of the daytime hours Sunday, still cold. Early next week, in fact, for most of next week, it looks a whole lot milder. 0 on Monday, you get a chance of some flurries Monday night into Tuesday. Temperatures will drop through the day Tuesday, so by Tuesday afternoon, we'll back off to about minus 6. Minus 1, minus 2 range for highs Wednesday, Thursday, though. And then another shot of potentially some heavy snow to end next week. As far as this weekend, though, looks like a bit of a break from the snow. Enjoy the sunshine. Just a couple of cold days to get through before it turns mild again on Monday. That is your forecast.
One of the brightest holiday festivals in Edmonton starts up next week with the return of Glow. Now, this year's theme is the Enchanted Forest. Now, Glow has expanded this year with what organizers call its biggest attraction yet. They call it the Audio Adventure. Displays feature an interactive button that, when pushed, will tell a story. This year's festival features more than 1.5 million lights.
We focus on families and you know, bringing the kids here, or I mean, you can come as a couple as well. There's so many displays you can do pictures at. So, but I think it just gets everybody in the holiday spirit.
The festival runs from next Thursday, December 4th, until the 31st. Well, that certainly looks like making spirits bright over at Glow. All right, folks, that's all from us on this Friday. Thank you so much for wrapping up your week with us here on CTV Edmonton. We hope you all have a great, happy, fun, and safe weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday night, same time, same place. Until then, take care and goodbye for now.